What's up YouTube, JoshahOfAllTrades here, and today I'm talking about the Amazon original series, American Playboy, the Hugh Hefner story. Now, the show isn't what I thought it would be going into it, so this isn't as much a review as it is just me giving my thoughts of something you might want to know before you start watching it. I'm going to give you fair notice right now, I'm not all the way through. I am at the 50-yard line. I've watched 5 of the 10 available episodes, and so I don't know everything there is to know about this show. But I feel like I know enough to give you an informed perspective on what you might like or dislike about it. Okay, here I go. I'm trying not to give you any spoilers, but then again, everything that happens in the show happened in real life. So the first thing that you need to know is that this show is hardcore documentary. Like when I saw some sort of trailers for it online, I saw like reenactments, and so I thought that the show was going to be basically Mad Men at the Playboy office, and a little bit of facts here and there. But it turns out that the show is probably maybe 1/3 dramatic reenactment, 1/3 actual interviews with Hugh Hefner, with models, with his family members and co-workers, and then another third narration over different images. Some of them are reenactments, some of them are, images from the time, from the 50s, from when all this is going on. You see the magazine and the office and all this kind of stuff. The second big thing that should not be surprising to anyone, but was actually kind of surprising to me, is that this show has a ton of nudity. And sure, you're going to get some of that because we're talking about Playboy. It shows the centerfolds, it shows the models. But aside from that, in actual dramatic reenactments, it shows women going around in different states of undress. And I feel like for a documentary that gives a lot of lip service to the idea that Playboy was a classy magazine and that it wasn't all about nudity, it is very exploitative when it does show nudity on screen. And I'm telling you, some of these moments are a little bit cringy. Like there's one scene where they have a model and they're pulling her thing down and pushing her breasts together and making her look good for the camera, and that's just weird, man. Like it's like sausage. You want to see it on that nice white butcher paper when it's all done. You don't want to see the butcher in the back grinding up organs and stuff, man. Just show us the finished product. It goes a little overboard sometimes. Okay, the third thing that you need to know going into this is that there is a very strong bias in favor of Hugh Hefner and the Playboy organization. I mean, we really get that rosy colored lens perspective into the past, being that it portrays Hugh Hefner as like a champion of civil rights back in the day. And I kid you not, there are sequences where it shows like mob violence against blacks in the 50s. It shows an image of Martin Luther King Jr., and then it shows Hugh Hefner at the mansion. And it tries to make like this very smooth transition, like all these things just naturally go together. And I feel like that's a stretch. Also, American Playboy points out some of the things that Hef or the organization did wrong, like his divorce from his wife, or when the organization was charged with bribery. And it points out the negatives without ever having us get emotionally attached and understand that there are real repercussions and that people got hurt or something was done wrong. It just kind of skims over it and, in a sense, glamorizes it with the success that Playboy had. And the final thing I want to ding about this show, I'm really not trying to be hard on it, but I'm giving you my candid feedback, is that it could be shorter. I mean, I'm 5 40-minute episodes in, and I don't know where it's going. Like, I don't know how fast it's going to take the next episodes. I think I'm in the year like 1962 right now after episode 5. So there's a lot of exposition to be done. And I feel like, me personally, I didn't need all the detail. You could have given me a little more brevity. Just give me the highlights of what happened. And maybe in a 2-hour movie, we could have told the same story. And that gets us to the meat of what I want to tell you about this. From everything that I saw about an American Playboy going into it, I thought that this was a wide appeal show, but it's really not. It's for a niche audience. If you are a person that read Playboy in the 1950s and 60s, or if you're some sort of historian of that time period, if you have a fascination with journalism of the 1950s, you are going to love this series because it gives you all these facts. It gives you dates and people's names and what their background was and all this stuff that I think is useless. But if you have some sort of affinity with that time period or with the Playboy organization, you are going to love this. And that gets us to the brass tacks right there, because deep down inside, I am not a Playboy fan. I saw this series and I thought it'd be a fun thing to watch, and on some levels it was. But because I don't have any intrinsic fascination with the magazine, I'm just not into it as much as other people would. I grew up in the South in a very conservative family in a very conservative small town, so Playboy magazine was the devil. And even when I became of age to be interested in these kind of things, other magazines like GQ, like Esquire, did not feature nudity, and so that made them more acceptable and very much so more accessible to me. So I ended up reading other types of literature. Now I know that's changed, and I think for the best in recent times that Playboy isn't featuring nudes in their magazines, and it's kind of legitimized the brand to the modern person, I think. I know they've been doing a ton of advertising. When I go on Facebook, I see tons of articles on the Playboy website, and a lot of times they're fascinating stuff, and I'll click through and read it. So it's something that I'm open to now, but because of my past, I don't view myself as an aficionado with Playboy as a magazine or as an enterprise. But that being said, it was a cool history lesson, what I've watched of this show. And if you're a person that is very, very interested in that kind of thing or in the time period, this is for you too. So there you have it. I really, really hope it doesn't sound like I'm bashing American Playboy, the Hugh Hefner story, because it really is his story. It's very factual and it's very detailed and informative. It just has to be your thing before you start watching it. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you've seen American Playboy and you think that there's something I'm missing out on, hit me with a comment below and I'll get back to you. That's all I got for today. I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.